Hi everyone. So today I'm doing another Chagatay tutorial. This is from the Zafername. This is the famous chronicle for Timur, or Tamerlane as he's also known, in the West. And the text was originally written in Persian, but it was later translated into Chagatay. This text is referenced in János Eckmann's Chaghatay manual, and I was able to find the exact manuscript he cites thanks to the Turkish manuscripts portal. You can go online and find that. I'll put the link to that, and you can search this one up. Today, I think we will not do a full translation. Rather, I think I'd prefer to just do a kind of paleography, because in the last tutorial we worked with a printed text from Schlussel's manual that had, the original, a copy of the original side by side, but this is, dealing with the, real manuscript, or, the picture of the real manuscript. So thought we could just do some reading along and go through the text, read it, maybe translate here and there. But as I was preparing for this, this one does require a bit of careful study to make a serviceable translation. So, and what I'll be doing, and what I would recommend you do following along, is I have Eckmann's Battle of, well, he spells it the old way, Ankara, his transcription. So I'm going to be following that and reading along so we can understand. And there's a purpose to this. Now, you may think, well, this is cheating, right? And sort of it is, but what we're doing is so we can understand the shapes of the letters following the transcription, so that if we want to ever, work with a text like this again, we won't need to follow a transcription. It's just about familiarizing ourselves with the script. Now, this is a Nastaliq style script, so perhaps if you're a Persian speaker, you are familiar with this, and this might be fairly easy for you to follow. But if you have a little bit less experience with Nastaliq, like I do, transcription would be pretty helpful, I think. I just also wanted to add, there was also another Chagatay translation of the Zafername. As I was searching to find a manuscript of the text in Chagatai, there is a copy. This is from the early 18th century in the Gunnar Jarring collection. This is also all totally online for free. You can just download it like I have here. And this is a digression, but you can see, some important differences in like the style of copying and the overall quality. This is done on probably what was less expensive paper and a more affordable scribe. This isn't, the worst, script in the world, but it's, clearly a more affordable volume. And this particular one was at one point owned by Gustav Roquette, who wrote a lot on Eastern Turkish or Chagatay. So another interesting little tidbit there. But this is another option if you wanted to sit down and read the manuscript. This one you can download the full text, but this one you have to, if you are Turkish, I think you can request the manuscripts, the full scan for free. I think you can get a certain amount a year for free. If you are not a Turkish citizen, you have to pay, and when I requested once, it's quite a lot of money. So what I've done is just taken a screenshot of the whole of the two folios we're looking at, and did it that way. So hopefully I don't get in trouble or something for sharing this. This is, obviously we're doing this for educational purposes. But another on this, as far as the codicology of this version goes, this is pretty nicely done. You've got some gilding here. This is very neat, kind of a neat Nastaliq script. Very cleanly written, very clearly written. So now you may ask, I'm here to learn Chagatay. Why is this important? These little details on these kind of manuscripts are important just to be aware of, even if you want to, just know the language, because it's, this is how the language was expressed in writing. It was through these manuscripts and all these bits of codicology matter. So, all right. So that was kind of a long introduction. Let's get into actually reading the text. So here we have Hazrat Sahib Kiran Charayni Tartib Bargani. So we're starting from the red ink. Hazirat should be, Hazirati should be an Azafet. Hazirati Sahib Kiran. And then here it's a little unclear because we have this line, these two dots here. Maybe I can zoom this even more. So we've got our dot here. Now, the way, not jarring, but Eckmann has it transcribed is it's Charigini, and that is there. The ending is definitely there. But it looks like the scribe used this dot to be both the dots for the ch and the ya, which does happen sometimes. And Hazreti Sahib Kiran, this is His Eminence the Lord of the Auspicious Conjunction, which is just a fun title to say. And then Tartib Bargani. So Tar, so we have Ta, Ra, Ta. We don't really, once again, we don't really have dots for the Ya. This is another thing that happens with Nastaliq. They can sometimes leave dots off, so it's Tartib, but there's no dots for the Ya. We just have a dot here for Ba, or maybe it serves both. And then Bar, Gani. Bassa. So we have Ba, and then Sa, but it's not very easy to tell. And then we have a terminal H, or, if you're familiar with Arabic, like the Ta Marbuta, but here it's just terminal H. Then we have Sahib Kiran, same thing, Lord of the Auspicious Conjunction. Kecha Tang Atkuncha Hazrati Haq. So this is Haq, which is one of the Arabic words for God. but it looks like we don't have dots for qaf. And to be honest with you, when I was preparing, this was not very clear to me at all that this was supposed to be a qaf, but thankfully Eckmann explains that. Subhanahu wa ta'ala. So common Islamic, uh, invocation or kind of expression. Dar pa hida. So this is where the paleography is a bit confusing. So we have dar, dal, ra. We have kaf, but it's really gaf, or the Persian G, aleph, and then dar, ga, he, da. So we have our very tiny ha. We have dots here for our ya, very tiny dal, and then an aleph there at the end. It's kind of faint, dar, ga, he, da. Moving on to the next line. Niyaz u tazaru, I think. Kuldi. Now, if you were reading this would be the end of the sentence, right? If we were going to do the translation today, kulda is to do, usually like a helping verb. Like in modern Turkish, you would say like kabul etmek, to accept something. Like, do you when you're clicking on a computer. Except here we have tazaru kulda. That would be the end of our first sentence. And because it's that's a definite past tense, so it's fully conjugated. Tang atkanda atlanıp. So here we have that, not really a conjugation, but it is a full verb. It's just it uses the up ending. So you could treat it as a complete sentence, but it's part of another sentence, or the sentence that will continue. Çeringini tartib berurgah. So I think what is happening with this scribe is we've got, looks like down here, this little bit could be a dot. But it might be ba and ya like together perhaps, but it's really not clear. So and then mashgul. So we've got mim, this very small, sha, gain, u, lam, mashgul, buldu. So here we have the end of our next sentence with the duh ending, buldu, mashgul, buldu. But like I said, depending on how you wanted to translate this, or just for your own understanding, if you have an up ending like we have here, that is a complete thought. Basically, we've got a verb and subject and predicate. Okay, continuing on, we're going to go up to the next folio. Bahar durlar. So we have ba, we have a ha, alif, bahar durlar. So this is where this kind of script can get a little tricky because Vav, Dal, and Ra can all kind of look the same. So sometimes it takes a few tries to, um, get what they're supposed to be saying. Chayil, Chayil, Chaymalar, Indin. So we have our from or because case, din, chukup, chukup, medani, or medan sari, mutevaji. Another case where we have a very tiny mim, ta, va, j, or jim, and then a very, very tiny terminal ha that you almost can't even see. Buldilar. So we have ba, vav, lam, dal, ya, lam, alif, ra, buldilar. So they, mutavaji, so they turned toward or turned to face, something like that. Bahar kim oz, oz, yer iqa. And now this is where I'm glad we have Eckmann to help us out because this is not very intuitive here. So we have, it says mol jariga, mol jariga. So we have mim, and then it goes up into a lam, and then comes back down to give us jim aleph. So this part is not very clear. Mol jariga. Badip, another up ending, which is once again, telling us this could be, a complete thought, but it is, in fact, part of, the rest of the sentence. Saf, so we have sa, sod, and then fa, but our dot for our fa is all the way out here for whatever reason. Saf, tartib, turar, erdi. So here's the end of our next sentence. And here we have, the ya and ra are kind of morphed together. It should be, a more clear, ya, ra, dal, e, or ya. But here it's just kind of one little mark, erdi, but that's erdi. So I think this is almost 20 minutes. I think I will stop here for now. Hopefully this is useful. Like I said, this is more paleography focused, reading the letters. We'll return to this text or another Chagatay text in the future to um, learn more and do more like actual translation. One thing I thought I might do, depending on how, if I can get more subscribers potentially, is to do like live stream tutorials or something where that way people could, ask questions and follow along. That might be helpful for some people. Just on YouTube, we just, stream it and we could go through one of these things live. And also this text I will definitely return to because um, it's the Battle of Ankara. I'm pretty familiar with the subject matter, and I've read the Ottoman chronicles that describe the battle. So, in the original language, so I kind of know. I'd have to refresh myself, but I'm familiar with the way they present the battle. And this is, of course, if you don't know, this is when Timur invades Anatolia, and he defeats Sultan Bayezid and completely crushes the Ottomans. I mean, for the Ottomans, it's extremely horrific. And Sultan Bayezid is killed or dies as a result of the battle. It's not very clear. But anyway, so definitely we'll return to this text. I hope you find this tutorial helpful, and at least find it interesting. And I will leave timestamps in the comments, so if you ever come back to this tutorial and you want to skip to the actual tutorial section and not re-listen to the discussion about the codicology, I'll make sure to put that in the video description and all the references like I usually do. So okay, thank you for watching. Hope you found this helpful. And if you have any questions or any corrections on something my reading or something, please feel free to comment. Okay, have a nice day or evening wherever you are.